Hey guys, welcome to the AppFix. In this video, we are going to discuss about the scalable vector graphics, which is SVG. Well, SVG is used in many formats in the HTML as like a header, navigation section aside. It is also a part of that document object model. And in SVG, the drawing is done with the vectors. Vectors such as a rect, like line, and like polyline and polygon, as well as the ellipse and circle and many more. And it is a resolution independent, just like we have the images like .png, .gif and many more. We can resolve it with the same pixel size, but we can't do the same thing with SVG. And it is not suited for gaming. Yes, absolutely, because it is a document object model. You can't resolve it, you can't make it to move. Then how come you can use it for the purpose of gaming? But it is used for Google Maps. Just because Google Maps are constant or they are not movable, we can use those scalable vector graphics in development of the Google Maps. When we are using the path, we are creating a new element using this path. Means whenever you are drawing the icons for your website, you have to use this path. The Bootstrap, which is a CSS framework, made it easy for us to draw the SVG graphics using this path and all, because it is providing us that code. Well, if you want to draw anything on your own, we have to use the path. Path, which defines the path, how the line is moving, how it ends, how it starts. It is defined by the path. And we have many of the things in path, which includes the M equal to movement to, L equal to line to, and H equal to horizontal line to, V equal to vertical line to, C is curve to, and S equal to smooth curve to, Q equal to quadratic bezier curve to, and T equal to smooth quadratic bezier to, and A equal to ellipse arc, and Z equal to closed path, which we use to create a different object or the geometry. And when we are using the path, we have to use it like this. We have to specify the SVG with the width and height attributes, and we have to use the path tag. Along with, we have the D, which specify how the line is moving, where we will specify whether the line is moving using the memento, and we have 0 0 where the path start, and the line is moving L 200 and 200, and L 200 and 0 where line ends, and we use the Z for the closed path. This is how we use the path. If you are getting very complicated for this purpose, you can use the Bootstrap, which is CSS framework. You just go to the website of Bootstrap and just type the icons Bootstrap, and you will get into the icons, and you can just copy that code. Well, you can draw many of the objects which are related to the geometry in SVG, which includes the circle, rectangle, line, polyline, polygon, and many more. And these are considered as the standard SVG elements or the geometries. We will discuss about it in upcoming presentation. Starting from the circle. To draw a circle in SVG, first we have to use the SVG tag. SVG tag with the two attributes, width and height. Width specify that width of SVG this much, and height specifies that the height of this element is this much. And we have a circle tag, which is a child node to the parent node SVG, and circle includes 4 attributes: CX, CY, R, and fill, where fill represent the color of that object, and R represent the radius of the circle, CY represent the distance of the circle from the y-axis, and CX represent the distance of the circle from the x-axis. This is how we draw the circle in SVG. And next, coming to the rectangle. To draw rectangle, everything is same, but in the place of the circle, we have to use the rect tag. And rect tag along with its width, because the rectangle has its width, rectangle has its height, as well as we have to use the fill. And in place of CX, CY, which we have used in the circle, we will use X and Y. Means SVJ, width, height, and we use rect, and next attribute width and height for the width of rectangle and height of the rectangle, and we use X and Y. X for the purpose of the distance of rectangle from x-axis, distance of Y from rectangle from y-axis. At last we use the fill, which specifies the color of that rectangle. Now it's about drawing the line. To draw the line, we have to use SVG as it is with the width and height. Along with that, we have to use the tag line. and the line contains many of the attributes to specify it is a line. For that we use x1 y1. x1 y1 represent the origin of that line, and x2 y2 represent the end of that line. And next we use the style. In the style we use stroke, which specifies the color of that object, and we have the stroke line cap, which specifies whether the end of that line is round or it is a square or it is in a different position. At last we have the stroke width, which specifies the width of that line, whether it is a 20, whether it is a 30, whether it is a 40, and many more. And we will end the line tag. This is how we draw the line in the HTML5 using the SVG. Now we will discuss about the drawing a polyline. For that we have to use SVG as it is, and next we have to use the tag polyline, and we have to specify the style. Style includes stroke line join, where the two lines are joining, because we are drawing the polyline for the purpose to add many of the lines together to create a structure. For that we have to specify the stroke line joining, whether it is a meter or different one. And next we have the stroke, which is a color. We have to specify the color. Then we have to use the stroke width, which specify the width of that line, and we have to use the fill for the purpose of filling the color. And we have the points specify that from where to where the line is going. The line is going, just example, if we take points equal to 100, 100, 150, 150, and 200 and 100, it specifies that the line is originated from 100, 100, and it will take a curve or a cross at 150 and 150, and it will end at a 200, 200. This is how we draw a polyline. Now we will see how we can draw ellipse and polygon in HTML5 using SVG. Starting from the ellipse, when we are drawing the ellipse in SVG, first of all we have to include the SVG tag along with its attribute width and height. Next we have to use the ellipse tag along with its attributes such as the CX, CY, RX, RY, and we have to use the style and fill color. When we are using the ellipse, the CX represents the distance of the ellipse from SVJ along the x-axis, and CY represent the distance of this ellipse from SVJ along y-axis. And as we know, ellipse is not a complete circle, therefore it has two radius, Rx and Ry. Well, Rx represent the radius along x-axis, Ry represent radius along y-axis, and style represent the styling which we give to the ellipse, as well as we have the fill which represent the color of that ellipse. This is how we draw the ellipse in SVG. Now we will discuss about how to draw the polygon. To draw the polygon, we have to use the tag SVJ along with the tag polygon, and we have some attributes like points, and we have the style. In the points we will specify the points in which it will take curve, it will start, it will end. Well, the path will start at 100 and 100 in the given example, and it will go along the path of a 200 200 where it cuts, and it will end at 300 0. And we have the style in which we have the fill color, and we have a stroke which represents the border color. This is how we draw the polygon in SVG. Animation is an important aspect in the web development because it makes the customer to feel good in the website, as well as he can stay in the website for many hours, and many things will go good when we include the animation. For that, HTML is providing the shape animation. Shape animation is done through the SVJ, as well as a tag which is animate. First of all, we have to specify the SVJ, and we have to specify its attribute width and height, and we have to use the rect tag. And for the purpose of a rectangle, we have to specify its width, we have to specify its height, as well as the fill, which means we are filling the color in the rectangle. And next we will use the animate. Animate is a tag which is used for the animation along with its attribute, like attribute name equal to x, and it's starting from 0 to 300, means rectangle is moving from 0 to 300, and its duration which is dur, and we will use the fill, which means we are using that freeze, means it is not moving with a transition, it's just moving from one point to another point. And we use the repeat count means it is repeating for 2 or 3 or 4. It is decided by the repeat count. This is how we use the animate tag, and animation is done like this only, and it is a quite complicated. Therefore CSS has introduced the animation, which makes us easy. We will discuss about the CSS in further concepts. Now we will discuss how to draw these SVG objects in HTML5 using the VS Code. Now I will show you how to draw the circle using the SVG in HTML5, also using the VS Code. For that we have to use the tag SVG along with its width equal to 1000, and I will specify its height equal to 1000, and next I will use the circle tag along with its distance from x-axis. I will specify it with a 40, and distance from y-axis 40, and I use radius equal to 20, and I just fill the color, fill equal to red, and I just complete the bracket, and I just complete the circle tag, and I will open it in a default browser. As you can have a look at here, it is a circle with a radius 15, and it is the distance from x-axis, and this is the distance from y-axis of the SVG. This is how we draw the SVG circles. Now we have to look how we can draw the rectangle in the SVG. For that we have to use the rect, as well as we have to specify its width equal to 100, and I use the height equal to 200, and I just use x, means it is the distance from x-axis. I use 80 with the 40, and I use the y equal to 30, and next I use the fill. I will fill it with the green color, and I just complete the bracket. I save it, I open it in the default browser. As you can have a look here, it is a green color rectangle with the width of 100 and height of 200. This is distance from x-axis, this is distance from y-axis. This is how we draw the rectangle. Now we will draw the line in SVG. To draw the line in SVG, we have to use the tag line, and we have to specify the x1 equal to 10, and x2 equal to 10, and x2, sorry, I have to use here y1, and next I will use x2 here, x2 equal to 20, and y2 equal to 20, and next I use the style for the purpose to give it a color, line, and many more things. And in the style I use the stroke. When I use the stroke, I am giving the color to it. I just specify it with the blue color. And I have to use the stroke line cap round, and next I have to use the stroke width. It specified the width of that line, and it is around 20. I will take it around 20, and I just cover the whole tag with it. I just save it. I just open it in a default browser. As you can have a look at here, it is a small line. It might be in a form of dot. I just increase it to look like the whole line. I use 70, and here I use 70, and I just save it. I just open it, and I will reload this page. And as you can have a look at here, it is a line from 0 to 0, 10 axis, and 70 axis. It is from x1 y1 to x2 y2. It is with a blue color. This is how we draw the line in HTML5 using the SVG. Now we will do subscribe our channel for regular updates. Thank you.